Hey everyone, I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
And welcome back to another color class. In today's color class, we are going to be unlocking the 12 palette system. We've talked about it a lot, and today's the day where we're just going to dip our toes in.
Preview.
Yes.
Just a little preview.
Just a little something to get us started, to get us thinking about the 12 palette system.
Yes, and we've talked so much about how the 4 seasons, the 6 dominant characteristics, the 12 palette system, and the 16 palette system are like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
Now, if you do, what we know is out there in the world of color analysis, there are people who do the 12 palette system. There are people who do the 4 seasons. There are people who do mostly those two.
The 16 as well.
The 16.
We don't hear a lot about the 6 though.
That's do not.
One that's like.
But we generally people hone in on one system or the other.
Yeah.
Our philosophy is there are people who will fit into all of these different systems, and one will be better for them than another. Right. And that you need to know them all, and that jigsaw puzzle. How do they work together? If you know how these systems work together, then you will understand how to move people, even yourself included, into the exact right system for them. And it may not be the 4 season system. In fact, I don't even know a percentage, but I'd say half the people that I have color analyzed have not been a perfect fit for those 4 seasonal buckets. Mm-hmm. They've kind of ranged out a little bit because everybody's different. We're a beautiful rainbow of color, hair color, skin tone, eye color. And sometimes we don't fit. Mm-hmm. We have our own beauty, that doesn't fit into those 4.
Isn't eye color like your fingerprint? No one has the same eye color. Isn't that something?
Well, you and I did.
Well, it's not exact, so maybe we're all unique. Well, we are all unique.
Well, of course we're all, yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
we're all unique.
No one can fit perfectly
And so when the 4 seasons was developed, it was 4 buckets of color that, people might fit into, but it did not account for the deepest skin tones among us. It did not account for those of us who are just strictly neutral hair, neutral skin tone, neutral eyes. And so as we develop this educational system of all the palettes, and once you start to see the physical, we've made a chart that shows you how they all fit together. You're going to watch this and you're going to go, oh my gosh, of course, right. Of course.
So let's take a look at it since we have it right here.
Let's do it.
You can see that inner ring. So we're talking 4 seasons on that inner ring.
Yes. And it's just the typical 4 seasons. Winter being deep and cool, in terms of your characteristics. Spring being warm and light. I'm going clockwise around the ring. Mm-hmm. Summer being cool and light. And autumn being warm and light. Now,
warm and deep.
Excuse me. Yes, warm and deep. Sorry. I got ahead of myself for just a second. So that creates kind of a cross effect. But the 12 palette system adds characteristics. So for winter, you have a characteristic added. If you look into that, it divides into 4 quadrants. Winter has 3 separate quadrants above it, and one of them is deep. Another is cool, and another is clear. So move around the circle. Spring can be divided into 4 separate characteristics: clear, warm, and light. Same with summer. Summer can be divided into 3 separate characteristics: light, cool, and soft. And autumn can be divided into 3 separate characteristics: soft, warm, and deep. Now, what do you see on that outer ring? Those are the dominant characteristics that we've been teaching for over a month.
So the 6 palette system that we've been talking about falls within these as well.
So we said it was like a jigsaw puzzle. Here it is in physical form. You can see that, and we also told you that if you learned the 6 dominant characteristics, you would almost immediately know the 12 palette system. Because in order to put somebody in the winter palette, you know that they're typically deep, they're typically cool-ish, and if you've followed us on the dominant characteristics, you will know whether you want to put them into a clear category or into the deep category. So one of those 3 characteristics, we always say, what characteristic would you describe if they were running away from the scene of a crime? So if you already have them in the sort of moving directionally toward the winter category, would you say, they were deep, they were more deep? Or, they were totally cool. They were, just cool everything. Cool hair, cool skin, cool eyes. Or they were clear, bright eye color, dark hair, really dark hair, lots of contrast. So at that point, you could say that person with lots of contrast is a clear winter. And we are suddenly in the 12 palette system.
Now, there are a couple things that I think the 6 palette system picks up a little bit better than the 12. Well, the 6 palette does pick up and the 12 does not. So we just did a video on Dakota Johnson and we were talking about her falling into deep, cool, and soft. Now that is not a characteristic within the 12 palette system, but it is a characteristic in the 16. So while the 12 might not be as broad as the 6, it does go back. Well, when we move on to our 16 palette, we do incorporate some more of those.
This is the preview. This is the jigsaw puzzle that moves it into the 12 palette system. The next time we do, after we've taught the 12 palette, the next time we give you a preview, you'll be seeing another ring on this where we're picking up the 16 different palettes.
And I was just thinking while I was sitting here, when I talked about cool, deep, and soft people, like Dakota Johnson, we were just discussing it. What you will learn is some very specific colors that does work within your palette. Because me being warmer with my hair, but also softer with my neutrality, I can look at the autumn being the 4 seasons, into the 12 palette, which is soft and warm as well, and really pick out some different shades that work for me. So just because you do not fall into this, you will learn specific shades that do work for you in this palette. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe.
Absolutely. And you know what may be more important than knowing the colors that will work for you is learning the colors that absolutely will not work for you.
Or how to adjust yourself to work with those colors. I just volunteered at my daughter's dance recital on Sunday, and I had to wear black. So I had to adjust my hair, I had to adjust my brows, I had to adjust my skin tone to help fix and put the contrast that I needed up onto my face.
Right. Or if you're a fan of a particular sports team.
Yep. I do that all the time.
How often is that in your palette?
None.
Like, never.
In autumn, there are no sports teams with autumn. Maybe the Commanders, they're maroon and yellow. I can't think of a warm sports team. Can you think of a warm sports team?
Virginia Tech has burgundy, or a warm burgundy and orange.
Anyone who has burgundy or
orange.
Yeah.
Orange and I don't know.
Well, no, because it needs to be like a burnt orange.
We are going far afield from our topic.
Yes.
We were going to make this short and sweet. Basically, this is we're showing you the jigsaw puzzle. And what we want you to do is subscribe so that you can join us on the journey to really delve deeply into the 12 palette system and stick with us while we move from that on to the 16 palette system.
And remember, we're a new YouTube channel, so liking and subscribing helps us a ton grow our color analysis, our family. We are so excited to have you here, so thank you. Lastly, I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
This has been another color class, and we'll see you in our next video.